everyone, it's Imani. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for coming to watch this video. So today I wanted to do a video on how to balance work and school. This is mainly for college students, but I'm pretty sure you can apply this to high school as well. So please feel free to use these tips. Actually, one of my subscribers asked me to do this video, and my heart is kind of full because it's like, as a creator, especially on YouTube, you always want to create content that your audience wants. So when I'm asking, subscribers like, hey, what videos you want to see, and someone actually requests one, I'm like, wow, thank you so much. And it helps, keep my ideas going, and so I don't get like burnt out or run out of ideas. So I really do appreciate Jonathan for requesting this video. So today, I'm just gonna give you tips that I used while I was in college and helped me manage both. So if you're interested in this video, keep on watching. So tip number one is to have your classes twice a week. So I suggest this because it gives you more time to work and more time to study. So like, for example, let's say you have classes Tuesday, Thursdays, and you have class from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can literally go to the library from like 5:30 to 7 and do an assignment or catch up on some studying right after class, right? And then Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, you can, have that free time to work. So depending on what field you're in for work, you probably will work those days. But also, if you don't and you kind of just work like a Monday through Friday job and they just have you work 3 times a week, if you're part-time or full-time, you can spend Saturday and Sunday studying. And here's the thing, especially in college, I've learned you end up studying all day if you wait till the last minute. So if you're not waiting till the last minute and you're staying on top of your studies, if you just commit like 2 to 3 hours a day, you're actually good. So that's why I suggest having your classes twice a week, because you only focus on school twice a week, which is, I actually suggested this in my pros and cons of being a commuter student. That's honestly, I've had classes Monday through Friday before, but I did my best when I had classes twice a week, because the other days I could focus on my other life besides school. So I always suggest just having your classes twice a week. It just helps you manage your time better. Tip number 2, use a calendar. Listen, in college, even in high school, but especially in college, a calendar is essential. You can't live in college, live in this world, in my opinion, and be productive without a calendar. It's just not gonna work. A calendar was my best friend. I personally had planners, and I just would write all my assignments out. So what I would do with my calendars, especially on my laptop, because I really liked it on my laptop for some odd reason, I would write out the days I had school. Well, type out or write out the days I had school and the days I had work and the times that I had, school or had work, right? And then what I would do is I would try to allocate my study times in there. So one good rule of thumb when you're like trying to get the certain amount of hours to study is you're actually supposed to do 2 times you're supposed to like 2 hours per credit. So let's just say you're taking 12 credits, which is 4 classes. You're supposed to study 24 hours in a week. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, it's only 7 days in a week. What if I'm working? What if I, have school, things like that. But if you could get to 20 or 15 at least by using your calendar, you will be way off. Better off. Because you're supposed to allocate 2 hours per credit. So just look at it that way. If you can also do 6 hours per day if you have the time for a class, like things like that. But just having your work schedule and your school schedule on your calendar and then saying, okay, well, I have school at 11, but I could wake up at 8 and get an hour done from 9 to 10. You know, like just finding ways to plug it in, because that's what you, when you're working and going to school, that's what you have to do. You have to just find ways to plug things into your schedule, because you're kind of tied up. You have school, you have work. You know, it's not like you're just at school and it's like, well, I could just study on Fridays. Like 9 out of 10 times you're probably working on Fridays. So you definitely have to just, you know, get it where you can, get it how you live type of thing, and just plug it in where you see it fit. One thing that did help me while I was in school was my study schedules. I have a whole video on that, so I will link it down below, and it will pop up right here. I believe it's right here, or it's this one of the two. But it's gonna pop up on the screen as well if you wanna click that. But that helped me as well. That was definitely an essential for me. But calendars is key. I tell people all the time, write what you gotta do down. Like, stop trying to hold it in your head. Like, yes, our brain is very powerful, but why make your brain work harder when you could literally just write it down and you'll see it every day, and your brain will know, okay, I have to do this day or something like that, than trying to remember. And then when you don't remember, you're mad at yourself. When you could have just wrote it down. Like, your brain needs to rest. It needs to work when it needs to work, and it needs to rest when it needs to rest. So really try to use a calendar as much as you can. Tip number 3, know your limits. I can't stress this enough. Like, you have to know your limits, because you don't want to burn yourself out. Like, you can easily burn yourself out by doing too much, and then because you burnt yourself out, you'll get to a point where you're like, I ain't doing nothing. You don't want to do that in school, because you need to finish, you know? So know your limits. And this can go both ways. Know how many classes you need to take, and knowing how many hours you need to work. For some people, school's their #1 priority, and for some people, work's their #1 priority. So sometimes you have to work full-time and school is your second priority. So knowing that you can only take 2 classes, or you can only take 3, or you can take 4, but just knowing your limits, you know? Or maybe you're full-time in school, so you take 12 credits, but you know you can only work 20 hours. You can't pull a full-time job. But you have to know these things, because you're going to slack, and more than likely, just naturally how school is versus work, you're gonna slack in school. Because let's be real here, school, especially college, school's kind of like, you come to class, that's on you. You don't, that's on you. Like, who cares? Like, your professor's like, I mean, they're gonna fail you because that's my policy, or they just don't care. But work, you can't like not go to work. 1, you're not gonna get paid, and 2, you're gonna get in trouble more than likely. So knowing your limits so you don't slack in either area is important. So I suggest like really asking yourself, how many classes do you think you can work this semester? I mean, classes you could take this semester while working. And you can also, honestly, you can push yourself. Like, you could be like, you know what? 3 was easy. Let me do 4. 3 classes was easy. Let me do 4. And then if you do 4 and you're like, nah, no, like, you can't take 4 classes anymore. Like, just leave it at that. Don't try to prove to yourself. Like, just leave it at that, because you want to do well. You don't want to do mediocre, you know? So know your limits and stay within those limits. You know, don't try to overwork yourself, because you're going to pay for it. Tip number 4, know the end goal. Remind yourself of the end goal. I say this because I feel like working and going to school is not easy. It could be easy for some, but definitely for me personally, it was hard. There was days where I didn't want to go to work. There was days when I didn't want to go to school, but I had to push myself to keep going, because I knew that my end goal was to graduate so that I could get a better job in the field that I wanted to be in. So if you keep reminding yourself of that, I think it will help you, you know, just stay focused, and you won't get, you know, distracted, and you just knowing like, I'm gonna get my degree, and that's gonna help me get promoted at my job, or that's gonna help me get a better job. Like, keeping that, like, that's securing the bag, you know? And that's going to keep you pushing forward. So I always remind myself of the end goal with anything that I do. It just gives me that extra motivation I need to keep pushing. This is my last and final tip, but please have fun. Like, through this entire, process, please have fun, because you don't, like I said before, want to get burnt out. And like, you need some you time for yourself. Having fun can literally mean just like little stuff, like going on the computer and playing Sims. Like, it really doesn't have to mean like, oh, let me go out with my friends or let me go spend a bunch of money. It could literally just mean taking time out for yourself to enjoy things that you're doing, that you love to do. I really suggest this because you can easily just miss out on having fun and taking care of yourself because you're just on the go. I mean, I do it now and I'm not even in school still, but just the everyday hustle and bustle, you can really get sidetracked, like, oh, I'm not really taking care of myself. So, like going to the gym or cooking your favorite meal or just binge watching a show on a Friday night, like 3-4 episodes, like, just doing little things that will make you happy is super important, because that's how you will do well. You definitely need time to unplug. So I suggest that for everybody. All right, y'all, this is the end of this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any questions or you have any tips for anybody on how to manage work in school, leave it in the comments down below. We can always learn from everyone, like I always say. And I love you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.